Hello everyone and welcome back into another video. Today we're once again back in Warframe for another build, and today we're having a look at the Corinth Prime. This is probably my favorite shotgun in the game for a very simple reason, and that is the sound. The sound this thing makes, it's just beautiful, it's just divine, it's perfect. It also comes with an alt fire that's an explosive shell, and it sounds like this. Yeah, I don't know how much they spent for the sound design for this weapon, but it's worth it. It's beautiful. It does also look really nice, so that's just bonus points. But that's enough introductions for now, so let's jump into the build. The Corinth Prime comes with a fire rate of 1.42, which is pretty high for a shotgun. Base multi-shot is 6. Magazine is 20, reload is quite long at 3 seconds, trigger is semi, Riven disposition is 3 out of 5, so if you have Rivens they will have good stats, so I do recommend getting them because again this weapon deserves one. Crit chance is very high at 30%, critical multiplier is also above average at 2.8, status per projectile is 9%, and this basically means that each pellet has a 9% chance to proc one of the statuses, and the weapon mostly deals puncture damage. Moving to the explosive shell, the fire rate is now 0.667, so it's very low. Magazine and reload remain the same. Crit chance is now only 4% and the critical multiplier is only 1.6x, but status chance goes up to 50%. When the explosive shell hits something, it will deal 100 impact damage, and the explosion has a range of 9.8 meters, which is just insane. It's probably one of the biggest in the game, and it deals 2200 blast damage a base. Additionally, this fire mode consumes 4 ammo per shot, so it's quite expensive, and you have to detonate the explosion yourself. That means that if I just use my alt fire and do nothing, the projectile will just embed itself into whatever it hits and stay there and do nothing, which is very sad and boring. But if I were to press my alt fire again while the projectile is mid-flight, it will explode and deal damage. So you have to be a bit careful, because if you're too close to something, you don't have time to detonate the actual alt fire, so it's better to use it either while you're in the air or just by, aiming above the heads of your enemies and make it explode there. And that's how you are supposed to use the alt fire. And this is the build we're going to use. Semi-shotgun cannonade for 240% more damage and 1.5 meters of punch through, which is just insane, and it does also lock your fire rate. Galvanized Hell for more multi-shot and on kill even more multi-shot. Toxic Barrage and Prime Charge Shell for corrosive damage and also some status chance. Critical Deceleration for more crit chance, and the negative fire rate won't affect us because of semi-shotgun cannonade. Prime Ravage for more crit damage. Blaze for more damage and more heat. Galvanized Savvy for more status chance, and on kill more damage depending on how many statuses are affecting the target. And finally, in the Exilo slot, I am running Galvanized Acceleration for more projectile speed, and on kill even more projectile speed. And I do not recommend this mod if you are not used to the weapon's alt fire, because it will make the projectile go incredibly fast, so it will be harder to detonate it on time, which means you can just change this for something else. But I do like this one because it does increase the fall off by a lot on the primary mode, which means I can shoot people from further away and deal full damage. The arcane I'm using is Primary Merciless for more generic damage and more reload speed. If you have a Shotgun Vendetta, you can use this arcane instead, although I do not enjoy being that close to enemies, so I'm just gonna use Primary Merciless. And that's pretty much the build. Let's now see it in action. Okay, so we have here our 20 heavy gunners level 225 with steel path modifiers. So they are very tanky enemies, but yeah, this weapon doesn't really care about enemies being tanky. So yeah, let's just start shooting and let's see what happens after a few shots. Yeah, the weapon is now pretty much double shotting these little guys. If I aim for the head, I might even one-shot them, which is just insane. The alt fire will also deal quite a lot of damage and apply a lot of statuses, which makes our primary fire even better. So it's a nice combo, and you can just prime your enemies with your alt fire and then shoot them, and yeah, pretty much one-shot them, which is perfect. That's exactly what we like. So even though this weapon doesn't have an incarnate form, it does have a very cool mechanic with the alt fire, and that means that you, as I said, can prime enemies with statuses and then shoot them. So something like this, and now we can just one-shot them. So very cool. and actually very fun. The alt-fire does also deal a tremendous amount of damage, so whenever it crits, it actually is able to delete enemies even if they're a very high level, which is very funny, and you can just spam it if you want and it will eventually kill them. It's very unique and very cool. And we're going to make that even better with our Panzerwupperpfeiler, because Viral will fix all our problems in life, and in this case will help us clear these enemies even faster. So we now have Viral stacks on these enemies, and our alt fire now will deal a lot more damage. That means that we just spam this and we'll be able to kill enemies just with our alt fire. So even if they're very high level, if they have Viral applied to them, it doesn't matter what level they are, they're gonna take almost millions of damage, even without crits, so, you know, they're not gonna survive at all. And all it costs is just 4 bullets instead of 1, but I mean, the range of this thing is insane. At base it's 10 meters, which is a lot higher than pretty much all the other explosive weapons, so yeah, that's very cool. And you can of course increase that with mods if you want, but I mean, it's 10 meters, so I don't think you need more than that. And that's pretty much the Corinth Prime. Again, I just love the sound that this gun makes. It's so powerful and so good. I just love the sound so much, and that's why I wanted to showcase this weapon. It does also have a unique fire mode, which honestly we haven't seen that in a while, and I'm just happy that some older guns have it, because at least it makes them unique. I will now leave you guys to the showcase where I test the weapon for 5 minutes in a Grenadier Steel Path Survival, so you can see how the weapon performs in a more realistic scenario. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Have a great rest of the day, and bye bye.